Okay, we are at the outdoor unit of this 28,000 BTU fixed speed Gree air conditioner, heating and cooling. Today I want to talk about what makes the Gree unit so reliable and sturdy and the quality of it. So Walter, I don't know if you've seen when you install it. The first thing about the Gree units is that you will see from a low capacity to big capacity. In general, our units are 20% heavier than a cheap air conditioner you would find from any other place. Okay, and then, but the way it's done is that Gree doesn't take any corners when they design a unit. Okay, they select the right size coil, the right size compressor, etc., so that the system is balanced. They also use thicker material, making it more sturdy. If you look at that condenser, for instance, it's very sturdy. It's usually bigger than the competitors' air conditioner condenser size. And then inside you would find the corrosion protection, that sort of thing. It's all top notch. You know, they don't cut corners, and they're not squeamish on spending a little bit of money and making it a higher quality.
Yeah. Yeah, from our side, I agree. You know, when we go on a site and we build multiple units, sometimes we'll have to go back and look at the model number to identify what size unit, because they're like the standard 9s and the 12s, they actually look very big, and then when you pick them, you know what I mean, they're quite heavy. You know what I mean, and with the weight of it, it's not a negative to us in terms of getting it up there, because we as you know, as a company have our ways and strategically to get the units up safely for the people that are working with us, and you know what I mean, and obviously you don't want to drop a brand new unit. So the weight is not a disadvantage in terms of the installation, but I mean, we prefer it being heavy because it's a quality unit. We do see that, and even when you touch the covers, feel the covers, they're very sturdy. They're very sturdy. And what I like the most is, like, you know, the ease of getting to your terminals. And then if you can see on the side, what I like that they come standard with the cover that goes in. I've identified a couple units that are out there in the market that do not have that and have problems, and the customer wants to know why is that unit got a cover and this unit does not. So I like the fact that it comes with the unit.
It's also the decisions that you make when you import.
Sure.
If some OEM importers, they have the choice, and the valve cover would be $2, and they would decide to not to take it, to save $2.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. I mean, your unit needs to be rounded off, etc. And so in general, you found that access to the terminals, the valves, installing it has not been a problem.
It's quite easy, you know. I mean, obviously, we go out to site ourselves, you know, see what's going on with the installation, and then we get regular reports from our technicians that are out on site, our installers, and we have no issues, no complaints, and you know, it's very easy to get to it, especially if we have to go back for the servicing, get down to where we put our gauges in and see what's happening with the gas. And it's very easy.
You see, what I also like is that on a Gree unit, all of them, even if it's a big unit, big units can be noisy, even if it's especially fixed speed, because it's a fixed speed compressor. But I find that even up to a high capacity, you see, your Gree compressors are so well manufactured. Gree manufactures compressors for many different makes. But in general, on the compressor, the mufflers, etc., then going to the fan motor, the balancing of the fan motor, the blades, etc., find that these units are not noisy.
Yeah.
You haven't had any complaints from neighbors where you install?
I agree. We do a lot of installations in industry and offices. You know, I mean, well, in industry, you know, you're not going to get any complaints because your compressors are out. You know, they're outside anyway, and it's an industrial environment. But we do a lot of residential installations. As you can see, we're in Waterfall residential estate, and there's no issues. There's no issues with any noise. We have no comebacks with any sound levels. You know, I mean, as you can see, this customer opted to put his outdoor unit in this patio area, and I'm sure they get together many times there, but there's no complaints about a rowdy outdoor unit or even an indoor unit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So so we quite happy with the fact that, you know, we don't get called out. You know, sometimes we do get called out with other brands and come and listen to us. So, but we do agree that lots of times it's just with different customers and their sensitivity to noise.
Yes.
But on the overall, we pleased with the noises, and it makes it easier, you know, for the noise levels here to listen out for anything that's abnormal, because, you know, the general noise is just constant and not too loud.
Yeah, I mean, we find that in general our units, people talk in the car industry, they talk about NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, and you won't find that on the outdoor unit or the indoor unit.
Okay.
So. We compare very well with even the top brands, you know, the expensive brands out there. And the last message from my side is, you know, you can save 200 Rand or 300 Rand and go and buy the cheapest aircon you could find. But, you know, in terms of reliability, the NVH I was talking about, it's like buying a very cheap car that is rattling, you know, all over the place. Rather spend a little bit extra and buy quality. I can tell you that the space requests that we get from a head office point of view are units 8, 10, 12 years, you know, in the field. We don't get it for a unit 1 month, installed for 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You know, so in terms of reliability and peace of mind and longevity, Gree is the way to go.
Yeah. So I agree with that, and a couple of the units that we came across, and you know, we had some old units on site, and they were still running. I was impressed with, like, you know, being like over 5, 6, like you said, more like 8 years old, that they're still cooling properly. They're still cooling, and you know, the customers are still impressed with the unit, and from my side, I totally agree with you know, with what you're saying. It's a solid product, like I said before, and we're quite confident as a company. You know, to go out there and market the unit, and you know, and give a customer a quality unit at a reasonable reasonable cost. You know, so it makes it good for us as a company to close the deal, and the customer ends up with quite a good deal in terms of the costing, and he's got a quality product.
Also, I think we must just elaborate on or touch on, you know, people buying a unit in a shop, etc., and then wanting to install it themselves, or using a very unreputable contractor. What would your thoughts be about that? Yeah,
so with that said, you know, no disrespect to everyone that's starting off, you know, but I suggest that, you know, the individuals that go out and get their you know, their training. There's various platforms for training. I do emphasize that anyone that's thinking of going into should get training, and you know, I mean, from your side, I know that, you know, you'll only carry the warranty and the guarantee on the units if it's accredited units, and we encourage customers to go out and like, for example, phone Gree and find out, you know, who's on the accredited list, and I encourage them to use that, because you know, I mean, like you said, when we go out, we established company, just as, you know, Gree has been around for a long time. We established company, and when we go out, we don't cut corners, because you know, we got a company to a name, you know, to support.
So I think one of the misconceptions is that, you know, people would think that, like with a fridge, you buy the fridge and you plug it in and it works. Air conditioning is not like that. It's not a DIY exercise. First, there's a major health and safety issue. Firstly, with your electricity connection. Connecting it properly via your circuit breaker, isolator, that sort of thing. And also then, even more important than, because that an electrician can do that for you, but more important than that, only the registered and qualified refrigeration and air conditioning mechanics can couple the valves, etc. It's a high pressure unit. You need all the tools, various tools, to be able to install an air conditioner, and also the necessary skill and knowledge. So don't attempt to do it. Don't buy an aircon and then try to install it yourself. And I think with that, I would like to then conclude. And thank you, Walter, for your support. Tell me if people can come and go and look at your website.
Yes, yeah. So our website is www.gen4.co.za, and we're also on Facebook, and yeah, so you can get us on those mediums.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to conclude, then, thanks for watching and listening, and until the next time, thank you.